a brief few moments here. I do realize that, yesterday we were on about just a couple of things that we're seeing in the actual cycle. I told you guys about the concept of us being online versus shutdown. I think the online is a little bit more accurate because it doesn't exactly get the elite off of the hook, so to speak. So rather than saying that, oh, we're shut down, morning to you, Marcy. Morning to you. Thanks so much for coming in and loving on the like button. So because it's not a fair, it's manipulation in my opinion to good morning to realize. Thank you guys so much for coming in. It's more manipulation to me in ways to call it a shutdown because it doesn't shut everyone down. It shuts down for the majority, the common man who feels the most pain. So I just kind of want to keep that language, try to keep it consistent for those of us who are out there, with the experiences. So I hope you guys are doing well out there. And it's Watchman is here. Good morning to you. Thank you guys so much for coming in and loving on the like button. Today, I'm probably going to come back because I think this whole thing about, Congress and the emails, who knows, maybe I'll come back with that. But in the meantime, I think what you're going to end up getting your attention directed to very shortly, they'll finally release, I think, a jobs report and they'll tell you, oh, everything's fine. They'll go back to gaslighting you that what shutdown? There was no shutdown. Everything was fine. So they'll say that, and then you have people saying that at the same time. I see that you have so much distortion and so much deception going on that you don't really get, your statistics don't ever really, it never really speaks to the common man. Yet the common man is the one that is most affected. So in many ways, I feel like I'm turning into some type of the voice of the common man is what you should be getting, and not just these silly narratives that don't really tell the truth, that really keep us further away from, for whatever reason, whether for to avoid emotion or to block out the truth, because lies and manipulation are all in the same realm. So we just need to get closer to the truth when we are discussing the disparities and the challenges that we face. But I do believe that the SNAP program will be a recurring narrative, and I think that'll be back very soon. I think even as soon as January, we will see. We'll have more people discussing what the new program looks like, if it will have a digital component to it. I mean, whether it's a thumbprint, an eye scan, I don't think they're that far off of that. So let me just take a few comments here. Thank you guys for coming in, loving on the like button on this Tuesday, November the 18th. Let's see, Watchman, Marcy T, realize. Watchman, Marcy says, it shuts down us that have low social credit score. Absolutely. And let's see, who else is in here? But yeah, so I'm just saying, I still think that we should not, whatever plans you have, you just keep prepping, and you got to keep your prepper mind on your head on a swivel, because it's not going to stop. I do think that more things will be introduced in 2026. I think I saw last night where there's another, is it FedEx that's going to do, no, it might be Verizon, or there's another major carrier that's going to be laying people off. So I don't know. Will you get a jobs report? I don't know. I have heard Trump refer to the current person as, inept, but he's still there. And I don't know of anybody else who has any other aspirations to be the Fed chair, was it that Scott Bessent? I think he's thrown his name into the ring, but then I think for some reason they weren't exactly supporting him because of some of his past dealings. Not sure. Good morning to Loba Kayamaka Ayote. I don't know if I got that right. Says we should all be preparing. Right, absolutely. I completely, I'm picking up what you're putting down there. Yes, we should not go off. We should not go off alert. Or we should not acquiesce. We should not. But like I said, many of us did not learn, and I'm not referring to you guys, but so many people didn't learn anything from COVID-19. And I do think that those proportions, I do think that it'll be a digital component will come up soon. Flying Guillotine 22. Thank you so much for coming in. And thank you guys so much for loving on the like button. I will see what's coming up before I get back to you guys later today. So the goal is to get back to you later today. Maybe I'll come back with an actual jobs report for you. All I know is that they'll tell you there's no inflation, that nothing's marked up. I do think that the little myth or the little trend about that $2,000 fixed tariff dividend, they've already kind of squelched that and said, hey, you're not going to get that in 2025. So for those of you that are going out here and shopping it up, you're not going to have that. So don't count that $2,000 in there for your shopping. I'm just letting you know. Don't do it. It's not coming. It's not coming this year. So I don't even know. That's a whole nother subject. But like I said, when I come back, we'll see what's happening. Maybe we'll see what the Department of Labor is actually saying about the jobs. But to me, those numbers and the statistics are manipulated so great that we don't really know what we're looking at all the time. Chris Wilson 9873, thank you so much for coming in. Says, I'm new to the channel, but seems informative so far. Well, hey, the archives are there. If you wanted to hang around or if you want to go check out the archives, hey, it's still available until their tube, shout out to Derek C. Williams, takes them down again, until they start playing free speech again. Because I submit there is no free speech. We're only as free as the powers that be say that we are, or as long as the person, the figure that's in office, we're only as free as that person says we can be. That's your free speech. Okay. So look at realize says, I think a reset will occur. It's like when you were in high school, everyone has an A, but it's up to you to keep that grade. I think they will lay out their rules and it's up to you to keep that credit score up. There you go. Nice. Love your analogy there. Realize. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Love your insight on that. And Chris Wilson 9873. Yep, I totally agree. Let's see. Thank you guys for coming in and loving on the like button. And then, yeah, I did speak a little bit about college because Breitbart released a report that it's not looking too great for the class of 2026, which we have a budding class of 2026 on Black Spring with Autumn. I always say shout out to the class of COVID-19 or the class of 2020, but we do have a class of 2026 budding in here right now. Loba Kaya Maka Oyote. Even in college, they say everybody starts with an A, and it's your job to keep it. Yeah. So that's why I see. And then to me, with that, but is that not what when you have the right dialectic or the conservatives come in and they say what was it when the founding fathers came out of one of their meetings or one of their assemblies or one of their meetings, and they said, what was it to Ben Franklin? Oh, what kind of government do we have? And I think he said it very touche, very apropos. He says, well, you have a republic, you have dare I say, they said you have what, I guess I'm paraphrasing. So you hawks out there, go ahead and grab it for yourselves. He said it's a republic if you can keep it. So there you go. So that's one thing that we have been consistent with. I think it's been on consistently with that. That's a very accurate analogy. Awesome. Thank you, Realize. I really appreciate it. And so Marcy T says, no free speech. And if you want to know who's got the power, that's the one you can't speak right. Yes, speak about the wrong one and you'll know who's controlling everything. That's it. I spoke about immigration the other day with IA and I got shut off. And I got shut off yesterday. So I appreciate you guys so much. So I appreciate you guys for coming in and loving on that like button. So you guys are spot on. So we'll keep an eye on things. We'll see what the Department of Labor is saying. We'll see what else is going on. Yeah, you guys are very astute in here. And thank you so much, Watchman, for coming in this morning. Marcy T, of course. And Lobakaya Maka Yote. Yote. I'm probably butchering that up a little bit. I don't know if I am or not, but you know, it's all with, you know, I do it with conviction, you know. I do it with the 6:30. I do it with the 6:30 scaries conviction, okay? So yeah, I'll put myself in time. I have to put myself in timeout after 4 o'clock every day. And just before 6:30, I have to put myself in timeout. So just know I'm giving it the best. Lobakaya Maka Ayate says, the fact that you're trying is awesome, and I appreciate it. Yes, without a doubt. Always the pleasantries of, you know, the pleasantries of language. I'm gonna give it a whirl. I'm gonna give it a shot every time. But I appreciate you guys. So I'll let you know if I come into anything, and whether I do or not, it'll just be like a little bit of a tidbit of an update. But I do believe these emails are going to be the distraction slash scandal that's not going to go away. We're going to see what happens here. Chris Wilson 9873, I subscribe. Looking forward to the next video. I love discussion about the things like this. Well, thank you so much, Chris Wilson 9873. Thank you for your support, and check out the archives. There's nothing new under the sun in here, and that's not Black Spring. That's Ecclesiastes. Yeah, nothing new under the sun. Everything seasons and cycles. And this season, I think we're getting ready to repeat some of the same narratives. The SNAP program, Common Man, they get ready to pull the rug out from underneath you, or they're getting ready to stoke that fear. So we'll see what else happens. And who knows? Who knows what will happen? And we did talk about college. We did talk about colleges and trades, and what we spoke about the Breitbart and the H-1B. We've talked about how India has they have a migration plan just for the Indian population, or for their nation. They're going to be training young Indians for these, you know, white collar positions, Fortune 500 jobs, and that is going to undercut the American college graduates, MIT, whatever it is. To me, we got on that a little bit last night, but we'll talk again soon. I do have an intention to bring somebody on, because I'm wondering if we're not going to start dealing with any supply chain issues, whether it be from the highways, whatever it is. I did talk about how a lot of the airlines do make a lot of money from cargo. So if that had continued, I think we would have seen, you know, the bottleneck effects would have already started happening. But who knows? I think that's not being spoken about. We know there's bottleneck issues in the actual technology industry, but right now they're not talking about that in the supply chain. So we'll get to that later, guys. And I appreciate you guys for loving on the like button. Have a great start to your Thursday. Bye for now.